California's smog check program requires that hybrid vehicles receive a smog check inspection after they've reached 8 years old, on change of ownership or initial registration in California. The purpose of this video is to explain the hybrid inspection process, provide a sample of the locations for various emission control devices used by hybrid vehicles on the road today, and remind you of the importance of some safety equipment. If you're going to service these vehicles, we strongly urge you to attend a more extensive training course for hybrid vehicles to protect you against injury and ensure proper repairs for the customer's vehicle. Regardless of the station type, whether it's a test and repair, a test only, a test and repair star, or a test only station, the smog check inspection procedures for hybrids are similar to other gasoline-powered vehicles, but with a few minor differences. In addition, some of your customers may believe that since they are driving a hybrid vehicle, their vehicle does not pollute, so they may be puzzled as to why their vehicle requires a smog check inspection. The fact is that hybrids will pollute like any other vehicle if they are not operating properly. Finally, we want to remind you that the current smog check manual is the only manual recognized since the implementation of OIS testing, and therefore that will be the reference used in this presentation. Even though hybrid vehicles have been around since 2000, they have not been included in the BAR smog check program. Consequently, many customers will have questions once they receive their notice that a smog check inspection is due for their vehicle. To make sure that the motoring public and technicians remain informed on this topic, we have created some Q&As that have been posted to the BAR website at www.bar.ca.gov, 6 of which we'll discuss in the next few slides. The questions are as follows. Why were hybrids brought into the smog check program? Which type of hybrids are required to receive a smog check? What is the smog check procedure for a hybrid? What smog check equipment is used to inspect hybrids? Are hybrids checked for emission-related aftermarket parts? And finally, what types of emission warranties are offered for hybrids? Why were hybrids brought into the smog check program? Hybrids are designed to meet strict emission standards and to provide improved fuel economy over conventional vehicles. However, hybrid emission control systems experience the same causes of long-term deterioration affecting other vehicles. Emission control system malfunctions on hybrids can cause emissions to sharply increase. By ensuring that hybrid emission-related problems are identified and then properly repaired, emission levels will remain low over the life of the vehicle. Since their introduction to the California market in 2000, hybrid vehicles could not be properly tested on the Bar 97 equipment. This equipment could not test the emissions of hybrids as the vehicles will switch into electric mode during an inspection. The Bureau of Automotive Repair's Onboard Diagnostic Inspection System, BAR OIS, which is based on a visual inspection of emission control components and a scan of the vehicle's onboard diagnostic system, has resolved this testing issue. Which type of hybrid vehicles are required to receive a smog check? All hybrid vehicles will be subject to a smog check. Just like traditional gasoline-powered vehicles, hybrid vehicles 8 model years and newer are exempt from the biennial smog check requirement. Hybrid vehicles 4 model years and newer are also exempt from the change of ownership smog check requirement. For more information, refer to BAR's Smog Check Requirements by Vehicle Type table located in the Smog Check Reference Guide. What is the smog check procedure for a hybrid vehicle? The smog check procedure for a hybrid is similar to the procedures for model year 2000 and newer gasoline-powered vehicles. This includes both a visual inspection of emission control components and a scan of the vehicle's OBD2 system. However, the procedure for hybrids does not include the visible smoke test. This procedure is consistent with other hybrid inspection practices implemented in other states across the country. To illustrate the difference described in the previous slide, here is a screenshot of the OIS screen showing the test modules required for a gasoline-powered vehicle. Note that it includes the visible smoke test. In contrast, this next image shows the OIS screen showing the test modules required for a hybrid vehicle, and it does not include the visible smoke test. What smog check equipment is used to inspect hybrid vehicles? Hybrids can only be inspected using the Bureau of Automotive Repair's OBD inspection system, bar OIS, since the bar OIS is the only equipment compatible for testing hybrid vehicles in California. Are hybrids checked for emission-related aftermarket parts? Yes. Hybrids with non-approved aftermarket equipment or devices will fail their smog check. However, hybrid battery enhancements, such as plug-in charger kits and increased battery capacity, are not cause for smog check failure. The only exception would be if illumination of the vehicle's check engine light is caused by the aftermarket system. For more information on aftermarket parts, refer to the Smog Check Reference Guide or the California Air Resources Board (CARB) Aftermarket Parts Database. What type of emission warranties are offered for hybrid vehicles? Hybrid emission warranties vary by vehicle manufacturer and model. Many 2005 and newer model year hybrids are certified to California Partial Zero Emission Vehicle, abbreviated PZEV, standard. The PZEV standard requires an emission system warranty of 15 years or 150,000 miles and a battery warranty of 10 years or 150,000 miles. Model year 2004 and older hybrids typically have the same emission warranties as traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. Technicians should encourage vehicle owners to check their owner's manual or contact the vehicle manufacturer directly for emission warranty information. This will help the consumer better understand the emissions warranty coverage for the vehicle and whether any necessary repairs will be covered under the warranty. Here's the OIS visual inspection screen, and it lists the following components or systems for the visual inspection: crankcase emission controls, fuel evaporative system, catalyst, exhaust gas recirculation, turbocharger supercharger, fuel metering system, air injection system, computers, sensors, switches, and wiring, vacuum lines to sensors and switches, and finally, other emission-related component systems. As with the OIS visual inspection, there are 4 entry options for each of the categories, which are P for pass, F for defective, NA for not applicable, and T for tamper. The first vehicle we're looking at is a 2013 Chevy Volt. We need to locate the PCV valve. Here's a view of the engine compartment, but no PCV valve is visible, so it appears that we will need to lift the engine cover. This requires that we remove the 2 screws as circled in red. Now we've lifted the engine cover. So where's the PCV valve? Although it's in plain view, it does not appear to be your normal PCV valve. It's right on top of the valve cover, as indicated by the red circle, and is part of the valve cover assembly. While we're on the Chevy Volt, let's also look at the air injection system, or AIS. It's located on the back of the engine block between the engine and the firewall. This is a GM engine of the back of the block and shows the air pump circled in red. The hose with the number 1 goes between the top of the air cleaner assembly and runs down to the air pump. This next image illustrates the pump removed from the block and helps to better highlight the AIS pump. What about the fuel evaporative canister? Like many newer model year vehicles, the evaporative canister is located underneath the vehicle by the gas tank, as shown in this illustration. We looked at the PCV valve on the Chevy Volt, and although it's significantly different from most vehicles, the Gen 3 Prius has a typical PCV valve. Unfortunately, it's a location that's difficult. It is completely covered by the air cleaner. We'll zoom in underneath the air cleaner to show you the valve. Here you can see the PCV hose connected to the PCV valve. What about locating the EGR valve on a Gen 3 Prius? This one is much easier because we don't have to remove anything to see the component. The EGR valve is on the left side of the cylinder head. Let's zoom in from the side for a better look at the valve. As you can see, this is electronically controlled. It also contains an EGR cooler that is part and parcel of the EGR valve system. In other words, it must be complete. If the vehicle has an EGR cooler that's been tampered, then the vehicle fails the visual inspection. As with other emission components, the catalytic converter must be visually inspected to ensure that the system is complete and that any replacement cat used meets the requirements as set forth by the California Air Resources Board. The purpose of this portion of the presentation has been to familiarize you with some of the issues regarding hybrid inspections. As always, if you need additional information, don't hesitate to review any of the following information sources: vehicle manufacturer service manuals, industry standard reference manuals, or periodicals published by nationally recognized repair information providers. As with any other smog check inspection, the hybrid inspection concludes with a vehicle inspection report, or VIR. The OIS software may not issue a certificate of compliance for a variety of reasons. Make sure you review the VIR for expected results. Most car manufacturers have developed a variety of hybrid vehicles for the automotive marketplace. As the complexity and voltage of these vehicles increases, it is incumbent upon the technician to remain abreast of the technology as it pertains to the related hazards and how to avoid injury. It's always advisable to wear eye protection when inspecting or servicing vehicles. However, insulated gloves are also needed if you will be servicing a hybrid. When discussing electrical safety gloves, there are 3 rules to remember, which are as follows. Electrical safety gloves used to service hybrid vehicles should meet Class 0 standards as identified by the Occupational Health and Safety Administration, OSHA. In order to maintain the highest level of insulating protection and ensure long life, it is essential that electrical safety gloves are properly cared for and stored. Before each use, gloves should be inspected for holes, rips, tears, or signs of chemical deterioration. For more information on insulated glove care, refer to the website below. Thank you for viewing BAR's training on hybrid smog check inspections.